more to it than just action. Let's talk about what's going on with Lois, Allie, and Lucy. So, of course, Allie continues to have her crazy kind of cult like following that she has, and Lois, in trying to protect Lucy, to make a long story short, exposed Allie, right? But in doing so, she didn't let people know that whatever Allie was doing was slightly working, or at least there was something to it. She just, labeled them as a whole bunch of crazies, and that's fair enough. She kind of had a normal reaction, the kind of reaction you would expect people to have when somebody's on substances and just like losing it. But she didn't. She was not happy about that, and so Lucy ends up, not talking to Lois anymore. She doesn't want anything to do with her. She doesn't want contact. She, pretty much goes on hiatus. And that's kind of where General Lane always comes to her aid. Now, we knew all this stuff from the previous episodes. Let me update this thumbnail here while you guys are joining in. Welcome, welcome. We're really going to break everything down in this episode. I'm not just going to get to all the good stuff. So particularly in this episode, Allie has a meet and greet or some sort of gathering with all of her followers. And in it, she exposes by putting a secret camera in, I guess this was Lucy's apartment. It kind of looked like a hotel room. She puts a secret camera in there and videotapes the discussion that Lois is having with her sister. And in doing so, that's when it's revealed that, oh, maybe there was something to whatever Allie was trying to put these people on. And Lois decided to hide that. And Lois claims it's because she was trying to protect her sister. But Lucy really just wasn't having it. She was not having it at all. One second. Let me change this thumbnail. I've got like the generic thumbnail for the show up there. And we're going to get it to the insane, super cool Superman thumbnails. Of course, guys, I'm chatting it up with you guys in the comments. I've got the comments right up here. So go ahead and let me know what you thought of the episode. Certainly, the big budget action scenes are one of the main reasons people really like this show, because it does show Superman in an unleashed sort of way. Different than we've seen in Smallville, different than we've seen in Lois and Clark. I'm still not too sure about how I feel about Tyler as Superman, but he's definitely growing into the role, and he's growing on me. I'm starting to like, his portrayal of Superman for sure. Let's get this changed here, so we don't have, so we can have something specific for Superman here. There it is. Bada bing, bada boom, and it didn't take. We're going to fix that probably after the stream. So sorry for everybody just joining, clicking the thumbnail. It's not going to look like Superman right now. I'm not going to waste any more time on that. So that's what's going on in the Lane family. Now, speaking of the Lanes, Jordan was in a small shop, like just a convenience store, stopping a couple of robbers, right, trying to steal some liquor. And he exposes himself kind of right on camera using his super breath. He has to call in a favor from General Lane, a.k.a. he's no more General Lane. He's just grandpa to them. And he does some cool U.S. super secret agent stuff and is able to scramble the footage so that his identity is not revealed. But he's still, struggling with his relationship with Sarah and stuff like that. They seem to be on good terms, though, making the mend since she revealed that secret that she had been unfaithful to him. And so that's where he is, really. And what he wants to do, as they're making that connection with General Lane, is he now wants to be trained. Okay, he wants to be trained to fight. Now, of course, General Lane can't do anything to train the kid on how to use Superman type powers, but he definitely can teach him to fight. He can teach him to take a look at his surroundings in those kind of situations. Definitely the way he was caught on camera. Those kind of things, yeah, he definitely could use some help with. So that'll be a cool bonding thing between the two of them, which is pretty interesting. And then on the flip side, his brother, Jonathan, he's still, football is on his mind. That's all he cares about. And he gets some of what they're calling gold mist or yellow mist, whatever they were calling it. It's the kryptonite in aerosol form, right? And so they're inhaling it and gaining these Superman-like, these Kryptonian-like abilities, these superpowers. And listen, Jonathan, instead of telling his father what is going on, I mean, you would think that if there was anybody who would need to know about this yellow mist out and about in Smallville, it would be Superman. And I can't, like, this is a huge betrayal, and I think hopefully the good writing will have him have an appropriate reaction to what happens, because to have your son go behind your back and not only not tell you about this stuff, but to actually start using it himself. And of course, he has a reason for doing this. His girlfriend, she's having trouble making ends meet. She's trying to help out her family, pay rent and stuff. And so she's selling the stuff in the school to high schoolers. Now, it's interesting that all of these sites where you would have been able to access this gold kryptonite, you would think they'd be swarming with U.S. agents and stuff like that, and young people wouldn't even be able to get around any place where you could access it. But they obviously were able to get around there, and so the kids are now on these substances, and they're enhancing their powers. And Jonathan wants to win the role of a starting quarterback from, what was his name, Ryan? I think his name's Ryan. I want to say Jake, but I think it is Ryan, who's the quarterback, and he took like 5 inhalers, I think. So Jonathan got his own fix, for lack of a better word, and he was able to pretty much take the starting spot. And so now I would imagine his next step is to build a dependency on that stuff. Now, moving on to big takeaway number 2, we have obviously what is happening with Superman and Bizarro. Okay, so super cool suit. We saw this in the last episode, of course, but now we got to see full-length scenes. We got to see his weird zombie-like twitching, desaturated skin tones, and that necklace that he's wearing from the comic books as well. I think they're going to play around with that. The way that it looked, I think they may make that a key to sending him away. It was draining power from Superman as they were fighting, as they were getting in their clashes. I've got a ton of pictures. I'm still just uploading them to use in the stream, but that necklace is definitely going to play a key role, either removing it from him or destroying it, or heck, it could play a role like the Phantom Zone. Maybe you could even trap him inside the necklace itself. It definitely is reminiscent of the Phantom Zone, but we know this is the necklace that he has even in the comics. He hasn't spoken at all, and this is one of the cool traits of Bizarro. You would think he would be saying, "Me, I'm Bizarro," like he does in the comic books. I hope they don't pull a full Deadpool like they did in X-Men Origins, just taking out one of the big parts of, the character is that he talks, not very intelligently, but nonetheless. So definitely I'd like to see Bizarro utter some words to Superman by the time Superman puts him down. And I love that they really are amping up Superman's villains that he's kind of facing. And if Bizarro is kind of like the early season, maybe mid-season finale type of villain, I can't wait to see who they pull out for the season finale, because Bizarro, while lacking in IQ, is just as powerful as Superman, and his powers are reversed. So instead of having super ice breath, he has heat breath. Instead of having laser vision, he has ice vision. Those kind of things, because he's like the opposite of Superman. But we haven't really seen him use a lot of those powers. But we do know this is Bizarro, so it's not like they're just doing a spin-off on the character. But I would like to see more of his powers that are similar to Superman's used in the series. Now, quick correction. This was not the first, and this was from a couple episodes ago. I did say, oh, this is like the first live-action version of Bizarro. But it was in the midst of the live stream, and I wasn't really thinking. And, of course, there have been several versions of Bizarro in live action, including in Supergirl, including in Smallville in past seasons. I mean, there have been a lot, but this definitely not done this way, just like Superman was not done this way before. So I do think that there's going to be an interesting take that they do with Bizarro, as they've done with this entire series. Definitely. Great fight scene in the ice. Now let's talk about what General Lane did before we move on to big takeaway number 3. Not General Lane, the other General Adams or whatever, and his team of the Supermen of the United States, which feature Tag from the previous season. He is now helping the U.S. government as a U.S. agent, wearing the Superman logo, because Superman knows nothing about copyright and trademarks, logos. So they're using the Superman logo and parading around as Supermen, and they decide that they're going to go and take on Bizarro. Now, here's the thing. This show is great, and the writing in it is great, but it is not without its flaws. And one of the major flaws here is, okay, you have a creature, a being that is so incredibly powerful that it's taken on and even bested in a couple of rounds that they had Superman. And Superman can beat all of your agents. So Superman's offering to help put this guy down, and you're saying, no, you stay back. You're not in a position to fight. And I also think it's kind of dumb what Clark is doing by saying, I have to fight this alone. I hate that. Can we get rid of that cliche? Can heroes stop saying, no, I have to do this alone? It's just an excuse to not make the clearly obvious decision that there's strength in numbers and it would just be better to attack it as a team. And with that, let's go to big takeaway number 3, because it's that exact decision Superman makes to go and attack this thing on his own that leads to John Henry Irons getting the mess punched out of him by none other than Bizarro, sending his suit tumbling. Now, we know he can take a couple of hits from Superman, at least not a fully enraged Superman. Bizarro is basically a fully enraged Superman. In other words, he's not holding back in any way. And John Henry Irons' steel suit was, I think the computer said, at 10% strength. The hammer, his steel hammer, was cracked. He's going into this at less than half strength. And he gets wailed on by Bizarro Superman, and he was out for the count. He was down for the count. He did just about nothing. Yeah, he came in and threw his hammer. I think the hammer fully cracked at that point, and then he proceeds to get punched in the face by Bizarro Superman. And well, that was pretty much a wrap. He's cold out, and now we're seeing he could possibly die. Now, they did say he was improving by the end of the episode. Lois said he's breathing on his own now, and so that was a development. But certainly, Natalie, his daughter, she is on a planet that she doesn't belong in. She's basically an orphan if John passes away. And she's very angry at Superman. See, at this point, you would think that the Kents would just adopt her because they're, well, the only family she has. They're the only people she even knows. Forget family. She doesn't even know anybody else, really. And she was just starting to fit in. The whole promise of John Henry Irons coming to this planet and bringing his daughter there is so that he wouldn't be engaging in these fights. And now they're seeing that he couldn't help himself. He got engaged in one of these fights, got in a tango with a Superman, and now he could lose his life because he couldn't actually get away from the game. So that's the situation that they're in. Natalie is being completely moronic in blaming Superman for this. She's like, you're Superman. This is not supposed to happen. Okay, I think everybody knows that some people have died on Superman's watch. Everybody on the planet probably knows that at this point. There are casualties. Man of Steel taught us that. This show has done some things as well. So, I mean, she should know that just because Superman is around does not mean that there's going to be no death. He's not God. Like, he's not going to save every life. He doesn't have that kind of power. And this is Superman we're talking about. Arguably the most powerful character in comics. Arguably. So, you know, it's just a moronic argument and a stance for her to take to be blaming Superman. I understand she's emotional and sad at this point. But I think John Henry is going to end up being okay. If he dies, I think that would be more of a catalyst for the story, though. So I don't know what I want at this point. I think we'll have him live. But again, we want him to be useful. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that's big takeaway number 3. And then moving on to what we're getting in the next episode next week, we're taking a look deeper at the political ties that are happening with the mayor and Kyle getting back on drugs. There was a big reveal that Kyle, not drugs, he was on, he had a drinking problem. And he was having an affair, apparently, on sweet old Lana Lane. And so that was something that was revealed at the end of the episode. So it'll be interesting to see. And this is another dumb thing. And I don't want to rant. I don't want to get on a billion soapboxes tonight. But here's the thing. This guy, the current mayor, threatens you and says, oh, I know you like your liquor there. And the first thing you do is you're going to throw a fit and then go do exactly what he's trying to catch you doing. Lana said, you're sober now. You're not doing it anymore. The only thing worse than him bringing up something in your past is catching you doing it like right now during the campaign. That just makes no sense. So the fact that he would do that makes no sense to me. But that's not the only thing we have to look forward to. We're also going to get more of the development of the whole Lane story with Lois covering things up. And Chrissy, okay, Lois's boss at the Gazette, she she wants more information about Lois Lane because she feels that Lois doesn't trust her and is not being honest with her. Now, Chrissy did say we're gonna sit in the car. I'm gonna gather my thoughts and then we'll have a conversation. But she seems to have not only not had that conversation, but already made up her mind to go against Lois. And she contacts Allie at the end of the episode and says, "Tell me everything you know about Lois Lane." So Chrissy is now turning into the enemy of Lois. It's going to be an interesting thing to play out because Lois is a quick-witted reporter, and she's probably going to smell a rat at some point because Chrissy is going to kind of be spying and reporting on Lois to Allie at this point. Allie already had Lucy's apartment bugged so that she could get her on tape. Imagine what's going to happen if she's got her job bugged as well. Cameras and microphones everywhere. This is literally where she does her work. So you know that there are going to be stories swapped around and she'll feel like she can speak freely. But eventually I think she's going to catch on to what Chrissy's doing, and that's probably going to end their friendship. Chrissy may actually end up dying, I think. Can we do early predictions for people who won't make it past the season? I know obviously John Henry Irons is one that people are thinking about now, but I think he'll be okay. But Chrissy, watch out, Chrissy. So anyway, guys, that's what we have to look forward to the next episode. And Bizarro got punched up in the air, but he's Superman, basically, so he'll be all right, and we'll see him again. He's probably in space doing one of those things Superman always does where he's floating, and then he gets some solar energy, and he's like, with the red eyes and stuff. So he'll be back. Anyway, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this episode. For sure, I'd love to chat it up with you guys in the comment section, as always. Let me know if there's anything that I missed, by the way. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, hit us with the subscribe and click the like button. I'm covering 3 shows a week, and Sydney's coming back with Raising Dion. If you're looking for the next thing to watch, season 2 is coming out on Netflix tonight, technically tomorrow, as of this live stream. You're not going to want to miss it. Season 1 was really good. It had Michael B. Jordan in it. Very good show, fairly good show. Going into its second season, obviously. So we've got, yesterday we did Snowpiercer. That live stream is up. You can check that out. And then, of course, Thursday night, technically into Fridays. I go live Friday night after midnight on Servant. And this will be episode 4, I believe, of that series. So you're not going to want to miss. We've got a jam-packed week. And then also check out the Granite Geek Show, where I cover your favorite tech and video games. I've been working with HP. They sent me something really cool. You're not going to want to miss those episodes. Also check out the Baseball Banter broadcast with Jay Latacuente. He's also going to be doing some content over on this channel. Okay, I've got to find a way to condense these outros. Thank you so much for watching, as always. And I'll see you guys.